welcome to another episode of the Empowered Half Hour. And today I am bringing you someone really special to me. She's one of my friends, but she calls me her fireball, but she's one of my fireballs. You know, every once in a while you meet someone that has the light behind their eyes and they're just ready to take over the world. That is today's guest. Today I bring you Joyce Worthy. She is the owner, qualifying broker, and a realtor for her business, Worthy Realty. So Joyce, welcome to the show.
Thank you, my fireball. Guys,
I love that you call me that. I'm like, yeah.
Becca's amazing. Since I met her at our old job, it was just like match made in heaven. Energy ball times 1,000.
Yes, exactly. And I'm glad that you brought that up. So for the listeners, if I bring someone on the show that I have background with, I always like to share how I met them. So Joyce and I met at work 11-ish years ago. I started in 2013 and here we are in 2024. So we met 11 years ago. We ended up sitting near each other, and like Joyce said, it was just on. Like you fit two really positive people next to each other.
Literally, that pod was on fire. And then Becca had all of these amazing positive quotes, and everyone would take a turn pulling it out. And I always got the, you're going to be a millionaire, your life is amazing.
Yeah, actually, I still have them.
Oh my God, can we do one? Can we do just one?
Yes.
Okay.
Tell me when to stop.
Okay. Stop.
I create a wonderful new job. Now, and the card behind it, so this is like Joyce always touches money. And I'm not joking. This has been going on for 11 years. So the two cards right next to everything I touch is a success. And I now create a wonderful new job. Maybe this is a new contract. You don't know, girl, but.
Oh, I receive it. I receive it 1,000%.
Yeah, I now established a new awareness of success. It's time to go to the next level. Yes, ma'am.
That's what I love. It gets me pumped up in the mornings, and then I literally have a better day that day. Yes. I literally have a better. Oh my God, we haven't done that in years. We have not done that in years.
I know, that was fun.
Oh,
that was a lot of fun. The depth of your story is very empowering. I mean, there's two layers of it. And one is just like, I think not surface at all because you have built a phenomenal business. But I was going to say the most recent is probably a better word, is like where you have taken yourself from when we first met 11 years ago to having this thriving realty and brokerage business here in South Florida. And you've created that single-handedly with your husband. It's freaking incredible.
Thank
you. Also have a deep story that is more like in your heritage and what you have done for your generational story.
Yes.
Too.
Yes.
It's a goosebumps. So like we can talk about it all, girl, whatever comes up. But the first question I have for you is, here you are at this point in your life where you are successful, you're raising a family, you're growing a business. What is the backstory that made you the person that you are today?
So my backstory, and I'm glad you asked, because my background, I'm Haitian descent. I was born here in the United States, so I'm Haitian American. But my mother came here, and just watching her work nonstop to provide for just me, because my father passed away when I was 2. So it was just her being a single mom and a single father. So she was on go because she had goals to accomplish, and she knew she had a little one to take care of since my father passed away. So just watching her grind every morning was just like, wow, I've never had to beg for anything. I've always had the latest items. Like my mom just made sure that I truly was taken care of, to where I was fortunate enough to know the best of the best, you know? So she basically helped me understand, like, no one is going to do this for you. You have to work hard. You have to be the one to go out there and be your own superhero, because if not, again, no one's going to do it for you. So watching her every morning, just waking up, grinding like there's no tomorrow, was just inspiring in its own. And she inspired me. She used to take me out to go look at properties since at the age of 8. And she would buy land all over Florida, out of the country, and just watching her evaluate these properties and these lands. I just had that background really early of knowing how to value land before you could even value a property or value the location, value the state. just knowing the ins and out on how to acquire real estate. And that was pretty amazing at that young age.
That's really awesome. I mean, there's just so much there. I don't know, such a weird space to be in, but I think, I was going to say, I don't know if you know or not, but my brother passed away 4 weeks ago.
Yes,
Yeah. And my sister-in-law is now raising my nephew who just turned 5. So, but she's very much like our energy. So I think that there is just some hope in that message too that you shared. And the reason I brought up like my brother too is that, for our listeners, life happens.
Yes.
And I believe that life is always beautiful, even when we
Right.
go through our trials. There's going to be something that shows itself that is beautiful. But
Exactly.
life happens and sometimes it knocks us on our ass. And like you said, like sometimes there's a great message in that. Like, yes, there's time for like licking your wounds and also just being like, oh my God, this sucks. But at some point you got to be like your mom and pick it up.
Put your big girl panties on and, keep it going. And it's not to say that you didn't mourn or you didn't, you did all that. You let it all out. But I'm sure they want you to be in a better space. They want you to be in a mindset, even after that, God forbid something happened. But I just want to give kudos to you, Becca, because once I heard the news, and I didn't even think this interview was going to happen today, quite honestly. I thought it was just probably you were going to push it back, but you actually motivate me because this was recent and you still showed up.
It's funny, like I normally, and I've never shared this with the listeners before, but I am Joyce knows me, like I've always had like inspirational stuff around me and I have my planner and I'm showing it right now. But normally it's like this week's goals, personal to-do list, habits, things like all of this side is generally filled out every Sunday, Monday. And the only thing that I managed on Monday to write was show up.
Wow.
That's it.
I literally just said that. Wow, we are so in sync.
Yeah, that's just like all I could do is show up, at whatever capacity that is.
Yes.
It is. But the more I show up, the more, whether you're grieving a loss of someone or a loss of a job or a loss of a phase, like, listen, Joyce is like, she is growing and, I'm doing things, I'm growing, but then you lose a phase too. And there's like, even though there's all this excitement in a new phase, there's sometimes also a little bit of fear. And a little bit of like, I don't know if I could do this. Maybe I'm more comfortable where I was. And so I feel like, and I'm curious of your opinion on this, but I feel like whenever you're going into a new space, showing up is sometimes all you need to do. Tell the audience a little bit about how you've shown up for your dreams and goals.
So one crazy day, I knew I had to be at this broker's open house because there was people that were going to be there that I had to get into the room with. And I caught a flat tire on the way there because I just left a new construction with one of my clients. And I'm like, I can't miss this broker's open house. There's no way I'm missing this. Called roadside assistance. They came and I could have easily been like, you know what? Forget it. I'll catch the next one or they'll have it again. I could have made so much excuses just for me not to show up, knowing that I was just in the hot sun burning up, watching a man change my tire and I'm just tired now, I'm sweaty. I could have made all that excuse and not go there. Like, oh, I don't smell too good anymore.
No kidding.
And I'm like, I'm flustered, I'm so flustered. I'm like, how am I going to interact feeling like this? But I had to quickly snap out of it because I'm like, this is once in a lifetime opportunity. It may not happen again. So you need to train your thoughts to trick yourself, however, to let you know, like, there's $1 million in that room. Would you still get in that car and go get it? If so, you need to go. You
just gave me the goosebumps.
So that was like my mindset, like, there's $1 million in that room, go and get it. Because you're not turning that car back around if you know there's $1 million sitting there for you.
I'm like, vroom, vroom.
Flat tire or not, finding out, God forbid something happened or whatever, you're going in that room. So I had to train myself each and every day. Every time you show up, you're showing up to grab that $1 million. And that's how you gotta,
I love that mindset. Yeah, because it's like a conditioning. And eventually when you do that, your brain believes it. And next thing you know, boom, $1 million shows up. It might take a year or 2 or 3 if maybe your manifestation is fast and that shows up in 3 months. Right. But it will show up.
Exactly.
I love that. So let's kind of go back to your origin story a little bit, like back to, now you had mentioned that your mom really taught you a lot about
Real estate.
perseverance and
Yep.
being your own superhero. I love that so much. But what are some obstacles that you had to encounter in this transition into being a business owner, really going for it? And yeah, what can you share with the listeners of an obstacle you had to overcome?
So doubt for me is a huge obstacle I had to. Not only that people around you are doubting you every other day, like they don't know your potential, only you do. So when you come up with an idea and it's like, okay, it's not for them to all, to believe in that idea. They didn't have that idea. You did. So you have to then take that control and really believe in yourself, whether or not you're the only person believing in yourself. So doubt is what I call the sword that kills your dream. Because
Ooh,
if you're doubting, you're always doubting yourself. You're like, maybe what if da, 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 da. A, you may not even get your business started, okay? Because you're overthinking it now because you're doubting yourself. You think you don't have the capability. And B, you're like already failing before you even started because you're like, well, I don't want anyone to be like, I told you so. You wasted your time, and you don't want to face that embarrassment. Like, oh, I started a business, it didn't do well. So what? You're
I
going to
love that.
go
So
up and
what?
down. Yeah. So what? You're going to go up and down in any industry. You're going to figure out the kinks and how to tweak it and how to make it better. Just get it started. Stop overthinking it. Just get it started. I feel like a lot of people overthink and not start the business because they care not only that they're afraid that they may fail, but what others would think around them as well. But doubt was one of my biggest obstacles that I had to face, and not knowing exactly all the ins and out. And I realized it was okay.
Like you said, you learn as you go, but if you never start, you never go.
You never go. You never go. And it's like, how are you going to get a chance to win that lottery ticket if you never played type of thing,
Right, exactly. But you
So,
said something that I think is really powerful for the listeners and something I believe in 110% is that this is a really good quote that you said too, but no one else knows your potential, you do. And I think that is such an important message for the listeners. So listeners, listen up.
yes.
Okay, you were born with your potential already manifested inside you.
Yep.
Okay, like the full potential of what you can do in this lifetime was born in you when you were growing in your mama. Okay,
Exactly.
and it's going to be hard for someone else to know that. It's intimate inside you. I
Exactly.
very much like Joyce, like if I let other people dictate what I was capable of, I
Oh,
would
God.
not even be hosting this podcast right now.
We would
Right?
not even be here, Becca.
I would not even be here because listen, I have had some naysayers, some doubters. Like, how many times have I been told I'm crazy? And I
Yeah.
have learned that when people tell me I'm crazy, I'm like, that means I got a good idea
Yeah, I got a
because
good
they are
idea.
scared shitless. And
They're
I'm
always
like,
implementing their fears. They implement their fears and implement it on you. And it's like, no, those are your fears. Mine are a little different. So it's like, I literally had someone verbatim told me, well, there's no way you can do or work a full-time job and start your business. I mean, who said you had to quit your job to start your business? Or,
girl, I still
just
work
to
full time at Cisco.
just
Like,
to get it going. I
yeah,
mean, you have 24 hours in a day. So if you're working from 9 to 5, what are you doing from, yeah, of course you need an hour to eat, but in shower or whatever, but what are you doing from 6 to 10 or 6 to 11? There goes that opportunity. Once you get that going, then you can start weeding yourself out. I just think that people think like you have to do the ultimate sacrifice to start a business, or
I
if you don't do
know.
that, you can't. No, you just got to get it going however, whether
I
you're making the
think
sacrifice or not.
I think that's like one of my biggest teaching points too in my work. I call it the power of and, but I was like, who said you have to do this or that? Like, and baby, like work full time
I
and
love
do
that.
whatever. Even if you're not doing it to make money, but like say you want to play in a band or make art or
Some kind
I
of
don't know, just
hobby, right?
yeah, like who said you have to wait till you retire? Who
Yeah,
said, Or say you want to start that business, you want to become a realtor, or you want to become an influencer, or whatever
right.
that side thing is. Who said you had to quit your job to
Right,
start?
right. And I love that you said and because you can do pretty much anything. Like people think there's a timeline for everything, and it really isn't. The timeline is when you start the time. And I stuck by that in transitioning from my full-time job and working real estate. People that had no idea I had a 9 to 5. That's how hard I was working in real estate. They were like, "You got a job too?" I was like, "Yeah." I kept it for a little bit, great benefits, great people, whatnot. Met you. Thank God for that job. I mean, you and I have been inseparable since. And I made a lot of friends from that full-time job. And I even sold them some properties. And we've just been close. And I feel like that and listeners, when Becca says and, it's true. Who said you can't do everything else as well during the time or at the same time?
I got the goosebumps.
I love that. I love that you said that. I'm gonna add that. It's just gonna say
and. That's it. I have and all over the place. And.
Yeah.
So let's go into another question. What's a lesson or an aha that's up for you now from the perspective?
Oh my God. Where do I start? I have so many aha moments, and it's like, aha. It's like, this is definitely a learning lesson for me, because one of my aha moments that I felt like was such an enlightenment was when I realized you don't have to pay attention to the doubters or the people who hate you or the people who are hating on your business, or they're not important. They're not the ones that are keeping your business going or keeping your lights on. Focus on the people that are loving on you, that are pouring their energy into you, that are helping you both ways, where the relationship is beneficial, and it took a little bit to realize the people sometimes that you started your business with may not be the same people you still have during and after. Or it may be if they were within the right alignment in your future. I feel like that is something where it was like, well, I started the business thinking that such and such or who or what was going to be there this whole time. Even like a new system for technology. You started off using a specific technology before, and then you're like, wait, this technology is much better. Let me try this. So, again, it boils down to, you have to just start and then you'll figure out the kinks. But that aha moment knowing is that however you started that business may not be the same way along the line. You're going to find ways to elevate it. And
I love that. And another way that I'm going to say that too for listeners is really what Joyce is talking about is evolving, right? And you need to evolve. And you said another word that I absolutely love as part of my everyday lingo too, is elevate. To elevate into your potential, to manifest all that you are and all that you can be, there's an evolving that happens. And to elevate into your potential, you may have to leave people behind. You may have to leave a system behind. Like, guess what? I would love a world where everything was in harmony and kumbaya. That doesn't happen unless you're intentional about it. And that does mean you have to cut out the things that are causing you inner disruption, because like you said, Joyce, that self-doubt and what I'm calling that inner disruption can prevent you from going after the thing.
Going to the next level. And I'm always, what's next? So having that aha moment, it was huge, because it's like, you think like, oh, this is it. But then it could also be this and that and the other and more. And I was like, whatever it is that I'm uncomfortable with or I'm not accustomed to, let's do it. Okay. It becomes like, okay, survival of the fittest. Whoever started with me then, are you still trucking along? Okay, you made it. Let's go. We're doing this together because we have that vision together.
Yeah. And if you didn't, then much love. And I wish you success and happiness. But I gotta go.
Okay. It's okay to love from a distance.
I love that you said it's okay, because it doesn't, like, I have even thought I lost friends, like, even in this whole, like, I say coming out, but my coming out was I'm an author, I'm a speaker, and like it really threw a lot of people for a loop who only knew me as a full-time leader, right?
Yeah.
Like, whoa, what's happening?
Who is this entrepreneur?
I did lose some friends in the process, but fast forward, now I'm going on 3 years of doing this. And
wow.
Thank you.
Together, both of us. 3 years of Worthy Realty just happened. So it's like,
look, our 3-year anniversary.
Our 3 anniversary. Oh, happy anniversary.
Yeah, happy anniversary. I was gonna say, fast forward 3 years, some of the friendships that I thought I lost are boomeranging back. And that doesn't mean that I have to take them back at the same level.
Right.
We were
you had before.
But that goes to the evolution. People evolve, we evolve. You get to choose who you keep in your circle to help you continue. I love that you said, like, but there's more.
But there's more. And like you said, I love how you said you get to choose, because you do. You get to choose. You are the CEO. Becca's book, guys, if you guys haven't read, like if you haven't read it, it's a must. Like, I think I actually have it right now. Like,
girl, stop.
I'm telling you. It's somewhere. It's right. I know it's. Let me tell you, I had such a great time reading that book, and you said it. You are the CEO of your life. Like,
Yes,
treat it as such. Hire, fire. Mind you, you're not doing it to be a callous person. It's definitely genuine. You want everybody there, of course, while you're winning. But if it's hindering in a negative way, if it's impacting you in a negative way, it's no longer healthy, and it becomes a little bit more detrimental to your goals, your vision, your alignment of where you're going, then it's kind of like, hey, it's better for the both of us to part ways and maybe see you later. Or, hey, maybe if you don't see you guys later, it's okay. It's called evolving.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And I think we've done a good job of having empowering conversation today, but
Yes.
what is an empowering thought you could share with the listeners if they are in a position of chasing their dreams or considering going for what's next in their life?
So you have to assume that no one knows nothing and what you're trying to do, because they don't. Again, they don't know your potential. Only you do. So for me, it's what's next, but how to make quality turn into something more, right? Again, the word more. So starting the business, I realized like, okay, personally and professionally, I knew I wanted more for myself, but also through the business, trying to get everyone else, like training my agents to want that for themselves is different. Sometimes that person may not have that to where you can't, So it's like, are they self-driven? Great. You can take the horse to the water. You can't make them drink. But what I say this is, it takes a community of teamwork and networking and just growing in that aspect to take your business to the next level. So if you're shy, get out of that. Get out of that shyness. You can't have a business and be shy.
Be shy. Yeah.
It just doesn't work. Even if you were an introvert, some people feel like people are supposed to like, oh, okay, they're an introvert. It's okay. If you're an introvert, I'm sorry, you're going to have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable in your business.
You're not wrong, because especially with social media, you have to find a way to be not only be disruptive, but be seen.
Yes.
Right. And if you're not, I'm just using social media as an example, but that goes for like if you're running a business,
that's very real.
And networking, and that social media is just like one aspect. But join groups, get out there, meet people. Like we're going back to where we started this conversation. You got to show up.
You got to show up. You have to show up, because if not, it's like, well, there goes that $1 million that you let fly away. You didn't show up that day,
you didn't show up that day.
You didn't show up that day. So it's get comfortable with being uncomfortable when you're starting your business. And I always say, if Beyonce, who's already made a millionaire, if Rihanna, who's already a billionaire, and she's still advertising herself, her Fenty, her Savage line and all, if she's a billionaire already and she's advertising her business, what do you think you should be doing? Get
out there,
get out there. Jeff Bezos he makes what? Like almost 100 million a night. When he's a gazillion, and he's still advertising, he's still putting himself out there. It's like, you ever see the most fittest person still going to the gym, and you're like, why are you still going to the gym? You're already fit. It's one thing to get there, it's another thing to keep it. So you gotta keep it going. You gotta keep it going. So that's my advice to the listeners who wants to start their business. You just gotta start, just jump, like Steve Harvey said, just jump, have that leap of faith. Nobody has your vision. And be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Advertise yourself. Promote yourself.
Great messages.
Yes.
So we're starting to wind down. I knew 30 minutes was going to fly with
this. No.
I don't want it to end.
I have so much secret to let the listeners know.
So I want you, because, we have a good local base. So Joyce and I are in South Florida, but we also have a worldwide audience. And with you being the owner of the brokerage and the realty firm, you can assist people over and beyond South Florida. And especially if they're out of the state or out of the country and they're looking to buy in South Florida, Joyce is your girl.
I have a lot of
business and how you might be able to serve the audience.
So you guys can follow Worthy Realty on IG at Worthy Realty. And you also can follow me on Facebook, Joy Worthy. We have a YouTube channel, Worthy Realty. I also have a personal YouTube channel called Live with Joy because my name is Joyce.
I
And,
love it.
you know, I also have my personal Instagram on Joyce Worthy IG.
It's fun to follow too, guys. I'm just
Oh God, you guys are gonna see a lot of crazy stuff. Look, I just love to live life to the
yes, you
fullest. You know,
do. And that's
life is
it.
short, and we work so hard. So I feel like I can't just make all this magic and not enjoy the magic. You gotta.
Right.
That's another one. You gotta take time to enjoy your magic that you just created. You know,
Enjoy your magic.
enjoy
Woo!
your
That could be like a
magic.
book right there. Oh, the writer in me is like, ooh.
Oh, oh. Yeah, no, it's true. Like some people forget to celebrate the small wins. You also got to celebrate the small wins and the big wins and throughout the whole journey of your business. But that's where you guys can find me. And I just love, I'm a free spirited person. Whatever my heart says, do, go, whatever. I'm a broker on a run, baby.
That's right. Well, here we are at 30 minutes. Joyce, I love you. Thank you for coming on the
Oh, I
Empowered
love
Half Hour.
you.
And I'll
Oh
have
my
to have you
God.
back on so we could do this
Thank
again.
you. Thank you for having me, Becca. I love you so much. And happy anniversary again.